Look at Lance already wearing his new hat.
You're welcome.
Lance was in a mood yesterday. I said, I don't know who she thinks she is right now, but she
Oh,
needs
he
to get it in check
was.
before.
Dude, at work, like legitimately, like it started off slow. So like you know how like you're kind of in the groove, you're like, oh, okay, this is how the day is gonna be.
Mm-mm.
And then a tabletop of like 20 came in, another tabletop of this, and I'm not the only person there. So I have to do the bar, and the bar's full, plus tables.
Regardless, I'm just saying, if you talk to me like that again.
Hey, as far as I'm concerned, Adam's on my side.
Well, y'all can
No.
have your sides together by yourselves in Tampa on October
No.
3rd while Aid and I go hang out with the big boys like we did in Houston. So,
Mm.
Oh,
speaking of, welcome back, everybody, to Slashers Podcast. This is Slashers, home of your favorite horror podcast about your favorite horror media. I am Mikey, and I am joined as always, by my favorite colleagues, cohorts, and why can't I do this today? Adrian
Too
and
early.
Lance. I know it is very early. Lance was like, "Hey, everybody, let me throw a wrench and everything."
yes, that's
No,
me.
no, don't worry, because Lance bitched enough about me this morning that he had to be up and he couldn't go out last night and blah blah
He
blah
always
because
gets
he had
so
to be up.
mad.
You
And
guys
I'm
like
like,
this early shit. Like
We
I don't even
like it. No, we do it because this is our job, Lance.
Yeah, well, can our jobs do
mm-hmm.
it like at the normal time frame that we have since someone has like a pool party going on today?
I have a pool party going on. Not that these people listen to this, but I am being dragged all the way to Winter Garden at the ungodly hour of 11:15 for brunch. And I'm going to drink some mimosas because I'm annoyed by this. But here we
Yeah,
are, everyone.
so annoyed, folks. She's like, I guess
Obviously.
I'll have to drink these mimosas in
Well,
spite of this situation.
exactly. So there's that.
Hmm.
But I'm glad that we're all back in one piece, Mikey,
Mhm.
because where were we last weekend?
Last weekend, well, actually, real quick before we do that, we wanted to give a special shout out. We have a new Patreon member, Pressy Jet. Welcome to the show. I know we've followed each other for a while on the Instagram pages.
Hmm.
So we just wanted to give a special shout out to him and say thanks for following. Hope we don't
Yeah, thanks.
disappoint. And even though you were a little past the deadline, I'm going to be generous. I'll send you something that we got from Houston Horror Film Festival, which is where we spent last weekend in
Yeah.
Houston.
Hmm. I picked up so many goodies for our Patreon members, so
Yeah,
I'm
like
excited.
syphilis. But
Thank
we,
you.
you're welcome. I got some goodies too for y'all.
Like syphilis.
Here's a preview. No, it was gonorrhea. Um, but what did I do? Oh, I have to show you. If you're on YouTube, this is a YouTube exclusive. So, as you all know, we went to Houston Horror Film Festival. It was not really planned for us to go as a show because originally I was going to go because my homeboys over at no, Dark Night of the Podcast. Oops, I was going to say the wrong podcast. I am not friends with the first one. That's a little bit above my community. But anyways, so Dark Knight of the Podcast, Troy Escamilla and Roger Connors. I'm friends with them, and Troy runs the film aspect of the film festival. And usually he asks me if I want to be like a judge for the short films, and I said sure. So for the film festival, I have wanted to go. It hasn't worked out the past 2 years, but I decided I'm going to go for sure this year. And to commit myself to going, my wonderful friend Jenna K. Anal was going to be there and having a signing booth for her role in Terrifier. So I told her, hey, I'm going to be your human cash register. So that way I actually make sure that I go because I have a responsibility. And I told Lance a while ago, I was like, Lance, you should go too because I'm going to go. And Lance loves to be a travel girly. He's all over the place.
Love
And
it.
so Lance decides to go. And then we were trying for many months to figure out how we can get Aid to go because she's a very busy woman, and it worked out, and we were all there. Um, we were not all there as a team 100% of the time because I was working, but Aid and Lance were doing their thing, and it was super fun. And I wanted to, so because I was working Jenna's booth, and everybody, if you don't know, Jenna is Tara from Terrifier Part 1, and she wears her skeleton dress. She was doing a photo op on Saturday where she wears her skeleton dress, she wears a wig. If you look at my Instagram, you'll see a really badass video I took of her as what I called Tara Resurrected. And so I followed her into her uh, photo, whatever it's called, photo shoots where you can buy a picture with, you can do the whole cast, you can do just her and Catherine, because Catherine is the other actress from part one. Also a big time trauma girl. This is the first year I met her. She's sweet. Hey, Catherine. And then, or you can do a solo shoot. So after everything was done, she made me go take a picture with her because I tried matching her outfit. And I was wearing my little skeleton onesie.
Oh, look at that.
Aw.
That's awesome. Actually, I don't even think I knew you did that.
Yeah.
Well, he was wearing it. You didn't see him?
Well, yeah, no. I saw the outfit, but
Yeah.
like I didn't know he actually got a photo op with Jenna
Yeah,
wearing
I
that.
well, so I wasn't originally going to go in there with her because I was using her like when she had to go do the Q&A or when she had to do the photo ops. I was using those as like little breaks to go check out things because it was so busy, and Aid and Lance can attest to how busy it was.
It really
Um,
was.
yeah, and so I was using those as breaks to just see the stuff because I didn't want to leave the booth while Jenna had lines and stuff. And so I forgot why I had to follow her for this one. And then I ended up in the room and I was like, well, this is awkward. I'm just going to sit here in the corner while everybody does their thing because I don't want to leave and like cause a scene. And at the end, she was like, Mikey, come here. And I was like, you know me, being embarrassing. I walk up and I'm like, okay, everyone, I'm not Jenna. I know I look the same and I'm wearing the same outfit, but anyways, and of course we're walking to her booth and everybody's like looking at her when she's in her dress. And I was
Uh,
like, yes, yes, how exciting. I know.
that's, that's awesome.
But it was super fun.
So it was interesting, I think, on the other aspect because like Lance and I didn't really weren't working there, but we tried to do a lot of content and like a lot of video and a lot of like obviously a lot of shopping and
Lots of shopping.
lots of shopping. Obviously you all know that I got another Labubu. Oh, I gotta go get her in a second. Well, she's green, so she might not show up if I put her in the camera.
That'd be
We'll
funny.
test it.
Just eyeballs. Is
I
that
know.
It's just her eyeballs.
dude?
Uh,
For YouTube only, obviously.
But it was interesting because so for me, I'd never been to Texas and this was a real big treat for me. And the only reason I could go, everyone, is because spoiler alert, I'm not teaching this year. So if I wasn't going to go because technically this was like the first week of school, so I wouldn't have been able to go.
Yeah.
I can't miss the first day of school, everyone. Come on.
Or can you?
So no, but anyways, I'm not teaching this year, so there's that. But anyway, so it was just like it was such a different like experience because like I'm so used to doing Spooky Empire, and then when we did Midsummer Scream, was it last year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last year we
Yep.
did Midsummer
I
Scream.
asked that question a couple episodes ago too, because I was like, was that last year or 2 years ago? Where
God,
has the time gone?
I don't know. I feels like we've been doing this, and I look, because I started when I started Slasher's podcast with Jake. I think it was around 2020, so 5 long years. And
Yeah.
Mikey, I forget when you hopped in. What year did you
I
come
want to
in?
say it's been 4 years because all I know is the first one we did was Lake Placid, and it doesn't even feel like that. Sometimes I just got like a memory and it's like this happened 3 years ago, and I was like, oh, I've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah. So, but I'm really glad that I got to go because it was such a fun experience. Everybody was so cool. There's so many different vendors. I met so many people. Jackie offline was like my favorite person. I probably bought so much shit from her booth. And so I hope she comes to more conventions. Like if she came to Spooky, I'd be so excited. But there are actually a lot of vendors that will be at Spooky Empire in Orlando that
Mm,
were at Houston, and I got some artwork from them. So some of our Patreon members will be blessed with that because I did go shopping and I did get a lot of little trinkets for people. So I'm excited.
hmm Where is Jackie based off of?
So she said she's in the valley.
Okay.
So do you know what that means? Because I'm like, I know,
Yes.
I know it's not California. So
I forget. I forget we're in my home state
yes.
and everyone is not from here. Because people were mentioning the Valley also at Jenna's booth, and I was like, I kept like translating everything to her for people that aren't from Texas. The Valley is basically South Texas, McAllen, Laredo, like kind of by the border.
mm.
So it's just South Texas.
Oh, thank you, Mikey.
I remember she said that to Aid, and Aid goes, "Oh,
Yeah,
like
it sounds because I think they say the same thing in California.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah."
Yeah, so it's the Texas version.
That's funny. Well, I mean, and then so she was really great. We met a ton of different vendors. We actually met Zach Galligan from. We have a couple good
Oh,
stories with him. So whenever you guys want to talk
Gremlins,
about
yeah.
that, from
Oh, he's
Gremlins.
the Gremlins. Okay. I was like, why does that sound familiar?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Zach Galligan from Gremlins. And in fact, we talked a lot about him on, well, I don't know if I was on that episode. I can't see this is how many years we've been doing this. I can't even remember if I was on this episode, but I remember Doug talking a lot about him because he was in Waxwork and Waxwork 2.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I was gonna actually mention that to him, but I was like, I don't remember if we said anything that was because I remember there was a lot of issues with his weight that Doug had all the cheese made because the director was like making comments about his weight. And so the second one he got really skinny for.
Damn.
Damn.
I know, but he looks great, by the way. He looks really
Oh
good.
yeah, he was. And we were talking about him, and I thought because Jenna shared a Uber with him coming to the con, and the whole time she was talking about him, not that she was saying much, but she was mentioned that she shared a Uber with him on the way back, and for some reason, I thought he was, and I forget his name. I think his name is Ken, but the guy from Basket Case and not Basket Case, Brain Dead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
What's his name? Ken Van something. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But
The
anyways.
the main guy, didn't we meet him?
We did. That's why
Wait,
I thought
what?
I was like, oh yeah, I think I've met him before. And then I was like, oh, that's not the same person.
No, no. Well, it's funny because that guy still has the same hair, but it's white now. I
Oh,
love
I
it.
know. And
Bless
he's
his
so
heart.
sweet. I like
He
him a
was so
lot.
nice. Yeah, he was the sweetest. But what is it? I have a hard time pronouncing his last name. So let me
It's like
just,
it starts with an H. I think it's like Culin or something.
yeah, Doug says it very well. Obviously, Doug knows, like, that's
Doug's
like
a
Doug's,
super fan.
yeah, Doug loves him.
Yeah.
Here, let's just look at him now. Because so there was one vendor, Kevin. What was the name of his shop, Lance? I can't even remember. I talked to that guy for like 20 minutes.
The little boo boo guy.
Oh, so here's my
No, I
favorite.
talked to him for 20 minutes too.
Oh my gosh.
Here's my favorite part about the thing. So we're trying to go around, pick up things, right? So obviously we're not from Texas.
Oh, sorry, Lance. Kevin Van Henenrich.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Go
You
ahead,
may
Lance.
continue, Lance.
But so you have to definitely think about what you can buy to take with you, like especially on the plane.
Mhm.
Like if it's big, it's too heavy, whatever the case might be. So A decides she is really interested in buying. He has these little vials of what is it like? They're supposed
The
to
T
be
virus.
T viruses. Yeah. So I look at her and I go, no, you can't take that on the plane with you. And she goes, what do you mean? I go, are you kidding me? A, I'm not even sure that's airplane like approved like ounceage. Also, it's the T virus. You imagine that even going through X-ray?
Lance,
And
the T virus isn't real.
yeah, I know it's not,
I'm just
but
kidding.
yeah, try telling that to I don't know anybody at the
The
airport.
TSA.
It's
Yeah,
like saying
it's,
bomb on an airplane.
yeah, like it was literally, and then she goes, "Okay, well, what about this?" And then I'm like, "It was even something bigger and worse." And I'm like, "No, no, we cannot." And then poor Kevin guy was like looking at me like I'm fucking his sales up,
Yeah.
Yeah. Poor
which I was.
Kevin. But Kevin had the reason I mentioned Kevin is because he had an adorable Belial, like these little rubber Belials. They're so cute from Basket Case. If you don't know who that
Yeah.
is, everyone. And for an extra, what, $30, he would throw in the basket.
Oh,
The basket was so cute and open, and that's when Lance starts dragging me away. But I'm like, I want it, but I would not have been able to fit him in the suitcase for sure. So anything that didn't fit in my suitcase, I ended up giving to Mikey. So Mikey made out very good
Oh yeah.
from our Mikey. Where's your lafufu?
they're in the girls' room somewhere. Aid got me. So Aid
I
thinks
told you to
she
give one to
gave me.
Jenna.
Oh, oops. Uh,
You kept Jenna's lafufu.
I don't remember. I thought you were getting him for me for the girls.
No, it's for you and Jenna.
Oh, well, I have. Aid gives me two Lufufus, thinking that my kids are not just going to take them as soon as I get home.
But they were so cute. They were the secret. So
Yeah.
it was the secret from the Big Into Energy, but they were lafufus.
Hmm.
And
Did
I didn't even
didn't
what?
you tell me the girls knew about that like already? Like
Oh yeah, they were like, "Oh, it's the secret one," and even like some kids that would walk because I had them on the table, just like sitting there, and people would walk up and be like, "Are those real? Are those a secret?" And I was like, "They're the secret, but they're not real."
Well, yeah, I didn't even realize. So I'm carrying them up. We're putting them in Jenna's room, and this is when I lost my phone,
Oh
everyone. It was a
God,
whole disaster. But
Hmm.
Jesus.
at some point, I like carrying it around, and Lance is like, "It's got 3 feet."
Oh yeah.
Again, technically Seth noticed this,
They were
but
like 20. They were, was it Seth? Oh, did Seth tell me? Oh my God,
Seth,
poor
Seth,
Seth.
Seth,
It sounds
Seth,
like something what Seth would say.
Seth definitely noticed, and I noticed that why he was noticing it, but I was like laughing, and he goes, "Did you mean to get the one with the 3 feet?"
It was the secret, and they were like $20. I'm like, I can't pass on these because they were really good lafufus, everyone, except
Except for the
with
foot.
the exception of the third foot. Yes.
Which
So,
makes it better, though. Like, honestly.
well, so speaking of Seth, my local production company that I'm part of called Sublimation Cinema was there with Seth and Naomi. I had to remember what her name was so we didn't call her Condoleezza. Um,
You're the
and
kid just now. I love it.
I know. I totally forgot
I
that
think
that's
I
how.
called her Condoleezza
Oh,
though.
I told her ahead of time. I was like, "Hey, they haven't seen you in California, so they think your name's Condoleezza." I had to tell them that your name's actually Naomi. Um, but
That's
and
not even
then
her name on Instagram or anything. Her name is like Angelina or something
yeah,
on social
Angelina on
media.
Instagram. But we also had Sammy Morningstar there. She's an actress in a bunch of indie films. She was actually in a movie with Doug recently. But she came down just to kind of help out with the booth and stuff. And she's a super sweetheart. So if you want to check her out, Sammy Morningstar, or Sublimation Cinema, they're releasing their Misfortunes of, which I might have some news on later regarding more
Mm.
of that.
Oh shit.
Um,
We
yeah.
do have a video with them.
Okay.
But I couldn't figure out the lavalier situation because Lance got incapacitated the last day, so I had to do
Well,
everything by
that's
myself.
something we'll bring up
Oh
later.
God. Here it
Um,
goes.
but speaking of guests and our friends that were there, we had Linda Blair there, which I saw her, but I didn't like go up to see her. She had a understandably had a large line. Um, I
Mm.
don't I don't think she does very many of these. I've never seen her really announced in many of these, but it's cool that she was there. Malcolm McDowell was there, which he's been to a lot of them, and he was super sweet. Chris Sarandon, was he there?
I think Chris Sarandon was there.
Yeah,
Do we have a list? There's a lot of people there.
I'm going through the list. I'm just remember if I saw him or there was if you watched Lance's video on any of the social media, you'll see that they had our own Terrifier room. So David Howard Thornton was there, Samantha who plays the witch, or Victoria Hayes was there, Amelia McLean who plays like little girl art was there, Katie or Catherine Cochran was there, who is Dawn from the first one, and of course Jenna Cannell was there, and also Michael, what was his name?
Ginelli.
Michael Gianelli, who is the original Art the Clown, was there, which
Hmm.
seeing him in person, I was like, oh man, I like with David Howard Thornton, it's easy to he's kind of like Jack Earl Haley and like uh Robert Englund, where they're just like tall and thin, and you can kind
Yeah.
of be like, oh, you can probably transform into something, a little creepy. But Mike Gianelli, he looks like a New York like just everyday guy with like a
Oh,
beard. And I
it's
was
so
like,
Jersey.
yeah, I couldn't remember if it was New York or Jersey, but he's someone from up there, and he was very sweet and he was very nice. But I was like, I can't see it. I don't know. Maybe he'll put on the makeup again. Maybe Damien will give him something to do in the next one. But I liked him a lot.
Yeah. Well, I thought honestly, in that was super scary because when I first saw All Hallows Eve, like I remember having nightmares because especially at the end where
Oh
he's
yeah,
like
looking through the
waving.
TV.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it was just so freaking like I remember it gave me chills. I'm like, why did I watch this by myself in the dark?
Oh,
So
I know. I literally had the exact same like feeling when I was watching
uh,
it.
I thought if it was in the same room, it was kind of funny because it was like the fact that like one end of the room had him and one had David.
Yeah,
And
they
it
were
was
on
like,
opposite sides of the room.
yeah. And I remember like, this moment where I was kind of like, I was looking at it, and obviously, I think because he doesn't do any really, right? Like at all.
I believe this was his first one.
Okay, yeah. So like, oh, here's one side and here's David, and you're thinking, and in the crowds, you could obviously tell who everybody knew was what. You know what I mean? Like everybody knows David because he's obviously done
Yeah.
the main ones, and then uh obviously a lot of people have seen the short. I would imagine. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe true fans had. You know what I mean? So that's kind of cool. But like, I remember just thinking to myself, oh, that's kind of like slightly like off-putting. I think for him, probably like,
I don't know. I think as I was as I spent 3 days in that room, I was realizing that they were kind of in order of like the movies. And so I think what they wanted you to do, even though not everybody wanted everybody's autograph, so it makes sense to just kind of skip around. But I think you start with David because that's where like the line was really long, and then
yeah,
you go down, and then you see like I believe Samantha was her name, who's the witch, or Tara,
yeah,
not Tara,
Victoria.
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 And then you get to little girl clown art, and then it was Katie, and then it was Jenna. So it was like all the movies, second movie, and then Jenna and Katie from the first movie, and then the origin story. You have this guy, but he was getting a lot of people in his booth. So because at first I was like, "Ugh, I hate when I see people like do these things and you just don't see people showing up at their booth. But no, he had a pretty good turnout also. Um,
I'm surprised they didn't try to get a who was the main girl that was running around in the car in All Hallows Eve, or the babysitter that is, I guess.
the one that was in the first Terrifier also.
Yeah, as the newscast person, right? Like the TV.
Yeah, she was the interviewer.
Yeah, that would
Yeah,
have been kind of cool
I
to have
forgot her
her.
name. Yeah, because she could be right in between the first girls and the guy
Yeah,
from the origin
exactly.
story.
Would have been
Um,
perfect almost.
yeah, but I kind of regret not meeting her. I really wanted to, but she shows up to a lot of them. Tracy Lords was there,
Oh,
um,
yeah.
Oh,
but
Dee Wallace was there.
yeah, Dee Wallace was there. Liana Liberato was there, who she was in, if you don't know, Scream 6, I believe.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. I saw her
she,
a bunch of times, like
yeah,
walking around.
and she's adorable. She looks just like she does in Scream 6. And I'm trying like not to spoil Scream 6 if you haven't seen it. Sorry if you hear the toilet flushing, my kid's using the bathroom in the back. Um, but she was the roommate. Um, Also another person I met who I like got along with instantly, which I was like, oh my God, he is so funny, is the original Ghostface body actor who was Lee Waddell. He was a hoot and a half.
Oh
Um,
wow,
he I loved him. And apparently he was in Scream, Scream 2, A Nightmare on Elm Street, and Shocker. Um,
using Shocker.
yeah, but I think he's a well, I don't, he because what's it called? A stunt performer, I believe.
Ah,
Um, I've never seen Shocker, so I don't know if he was actually an actor or a stunt performer in Shocker.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but you also had a small Charmed reunion. Holly Marie Combs was there with Brian Krause, um,
Oh yeah, because what's her name was supposed to be there, and then she
Rose
canceled.
McGowan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Randy
Oh, that's
Blythe
right.
was there from Lamb of God. Oh my God.
He was. I kept walking by his table and
God, dude.
smiling. M- Mike Vogel was there too.
He was very hot.
Hmm.
So it was a pretty good list of like people that are actually like, I mean, this is gonna sound shady, but like current working horror actors. Andy Matichak was there from Halloween Ends. Um, so like these people like just got off of pretty big projects. So I thought it was really cool. I thought they had a really good lineup of individuals.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing too. Is especially when you go to some of these cons, it's interesting to catch the difference in the age group, like people who kind of still work in it, and then the people who kind of haven't done it in forever, but like it's part of their, I don't want to say meal ticket for some of them, but like it's a
Oh,
functioning
you mean Alex
difference.
Vincent?
I wasn't gonna bring him up, but
I was literally running into him all
uh,
day. And all he did was like, because he comes right up to my boobs. And when at some point I was like, well, he keeps staring at my tits. And I was like, or maybe he's looking at my dress because I forgot I had Chucky and Tiffany on my dress.
oh, yeah. That's one of the first things she said. I turned around and then she goes, "Ugh, Alex Vince is just looking at my tits again." And I go, "What?" And I just looked down. I look up at her and she goes, I kind of gave her like a, "Are you serious?" And she looks down and she goes, "Oh, yeah,
Yeah, maybe it's the
Well,
whole
no,
I'm
because
wearing a shirt of Chucky.
well,
yeah."
Lance had to leave me outside or something. And I was like, oh, don't leave me out here. Alex Vincent's going to come over here.
God, I was like, this dude probably doesn't even know we exist.
Oh, he's at every single horror convention I've ever been to. And I literally always I like physically bump into him all the time. Like, I don't know how it happens, but
Maybe he
he's never
thinks
at
you're the
his
stalker.
table. No, he's just never at his table. He's always running around doing something. I don't know. Anyways,
Um, Another thing that I wanted to do that I didn't because I was just so busy is they had a little cast of Goosebumps that I thought was really cool. I wanted to I have a jewel case of the Haunted Mask in VHS, and I wanted to get her name is Catherine Long to sign it.
Yeah.
She was the girl in Haunted Mask, and yeah, Amos
Curly
Crowley was
Beth.
there. Yeah, Carly Beth. Amos Crowley was there from the Haunted Mask too. And he has turned into quite a good-looking gentleman. Um, but yeah, so did y'all meet any of the celebrities at all, or
So Zach Galligan, we've got a lot of fun stories about him, but we also met Malcolm McDowell. Um, so first of all, we get up there and like one of his cashiers was like bitching about something. What was he saying? Because I was like, I'm sorry, am I in the correct line or something?
Oh yeah,
Because like,
they were over there talking to each other and like kind of doing back and forth, and Ada was like trying to find the perfect picture to,
yeah.
to do her thing.
Oh, I have it right here. Anyways, continue, Lance.
And we legitimately, she goes, "Well, where's the person?" I don't know, just grab it and go up there. I don't think it really makes too much of a difference. Somebody's going to take the money at some point. I mean, Ma Ma Malcolm McDowell is not going to let you walk out of here without paying him. Like that's not going to happen.
Well, so I get up there and I finally pay them, and Malcolm McDowell's just looking at me, and I was like, "Hi," and like he didn't really say much, and so I guess the guy had my phone. One of the guys had my phone, and he was uh, taking pictures of him signing the picture, which I appreciate because, you know. So here it is. I don't
Huh?
know. Can we see it?
Kind
Yeah.
of. There it is.
Okay.
oh, that's cute.
I know. Look how sexy he was. Anyway, so he was really hot. I love that movie, and I probably shouldn't. But anyway, so YouTube exclusive, everyone. If you know what I'm talking about, you probably do because obviously red flag. Hello. But he like just did not seem into it. Like he just didn't want to talk, and he didn't stand up. So I was like, well, he is old, so he's probably not going to stand up. Bless his heart.
I just like the fact that he asked me to be in the picture.
Well, then he asked Lance to be in the picture. I'm like, excuse
Yes.
you. Absolutely. That's why. So there's a picture of me standing. I included in one of the videos of me like looking like I was pissed off next to Malcolm McDowell because I was. Because Lance comes and runs behind the fucking picture. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? Like, I've been waiting to meet this man since Spooky Empire and you ruined my picture. So
When
there's
Malcolm
that.
McDowell asks you to be in the picture,
And
you
then I
really
looked, I said, I didn't invite him. I said it like that. And I like, you would think that he would like laugh or think like this is funny. He was not amused with us at all. So I was like, this is good.
Was this on a Sunday? No, it wasn't.
Uh,
'Cause Lance was on
yeah,
a
no,
would
Sunday.
not have been
it was
there.
no, because Lance was dead on Sunday. So
Yeah.
Saturday, this was Saturday, but Zach Galligan did talk a lot and he gave us a lot of chisme
Oh yeah, it was
Mm.
fun. Gremlins
about a
three
lot of things.
foods.
He
Just
and he
saying.
he was just talking away. Like I didn't really like I'd ask one thing and he would give us like 1,000 things. And I'm like, this man's incredible. Like we should have just
Yeah.
stood by the because there was nobody behind us.
Yeah.
Because I think like there were like lulls in time where like people get really busy and then there'd be like nobody at anybody's table.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but let's talk about that for a second because I did bring up the Gremlins 3 thing, which has been in the works for years and all the troubles it's had with ownership rights and all that other stuff. So, like, I was actually shocked to find out the recent thing was supposedly the scripts on Spielberg's desk type deal, right?
Desk.
And I
Yeah.
brought it up to him, and he legitimately goes, "Oh, I did that. I'm the one that like released that snippet." I was like, "Oh
Yeah.
shit."
Yeah, because he was doing some kind of panel or something, and he basically had to announce. They asked him to announce it.
Yeah,
So, okay, great. He announced it, but he's like, there's no cast, there's nothing like whatever. There's just a script and that's it. And obviously he was saying that. So I asked him like, well, are you gonna? Well, I said you're gonna be in it, right? He's like, I don't even know if I'm in it. And I'm like, what the
No.
fuck? They make you announce it, and then they're like, well, by the way, you're not guaranteed. And so I'm like, and I was like, so what about like, so do you think Phoebe Cates? And of course, he goes into this whole thing about Phoebe Cates about how like she needs all these stipulations to be a part of anything 'cause she doesn't need to be doing it. And, you know, she wouldn't even like do like, you know, conventions like that unless she has A, B, and C, right? So she's like, because I guess she's married to Kevin Kline, which I didn't know.
Oh,
And he's
really?
telling me, that's what he told me. I was like, oh my God. So like
I
she
did
doesn't need this.
forever.
She doesn't really act anymore, which I think that she would do really well because not only is she in Gremlins, but she's also Drop Dead Fred. So if we had like a Drop Dead Fred like reunion, that would be so much fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be sick.
But yeah, then when he what was he saying? And then we were talking about like who's going to direct it. And I was like, well, Joe Dante is still with us because like he's like, yeah, is Joe Dante like is still has all his faculties? Like he's fine because like he's in so many interviews right now. Like so all the documentaries I watch, like they always have Joe Dante talking. So I'm like, he can do it, right? And he's like, yeah, but he's not as quick as he used to be. So I don't think he'd be like Zach Gallen was saying. I don't think he'd be able to, do it like physically. But then he was saying they're in talks, and he's like, I honestly think it's going to be Chris Columbus. So,
Well, because he's the one that wrote the actual script. So I think he wants to do it, and I think he wants a darker thing. I saw a thing about Gremlins 3, and supposedly the idea is for the new script is going to be should they kill Gizmo? Yeah. So basically, the idea is
ah,
should you kill Gizmo to stop any more outbreaks?
ah,
Because if you
this
kill
still
Gizmo,
my beating heart.
there might not be a reason for do it. So that's actually the plot behind his thing is to see. I love how Aid's so shocked by that
She got to
too.
step away. She needs a moment.
Yeah, I know. But like legitimately, I mean, honestly, it's kind of a good concept if you think about it, because as fucked up it is. But I love the fact that like then you have the situation where you go, is you got their Gizmo, and YouTube if you're watching. But if you think about it, it's how you a human trait to go, oh, maybe we should kill this because none of us know how to keep the rules. Don't get it wet.
I mean,
Don't take it
it's
after midnight. You know what I mean? Don't put it in the sunshine. Like it's like, come on. Like
I
I
don't
mean,
know. I
there's a
still
lot of
haven't seen the whole thing.
that's a lot of instructions, Lance. Okay,
exactly
people can't follow instructions.
three rules for the whole of humanity not to have gremlins run amok on our planet. But supposedly he wants to bring it back to more of a dark kind of horror comedy kind of deal of the first one, which I would actually be for. I didn't hate the second one, and I know a lot of people aren't like big fans of the second one, but like I thought
Yeah,
the second
Zach
one was fine.
Galligan said somebody hated the second one. Who hated the second one?
A lot of people for
But
some
no,
reason.
it was like an actor or like
Oh yeah, I'm not really
someone we were
100%.
talking about, talking to
Yeah.
or talking, I don't know. But the second one I love because you get to see all the iterations of different gremlins, right? Like it's not just for part one.
Yeah, yeah.
And, it's not a Christmas movie. So, you can watch it all year long versus
I think like it's
Gremlins.
after Christmas, right? Because it's New Year's Eve, because that's when they're doing the dance and they're ready to leave the building. That was the whole.
Is it? I
Yeah,
can't
oh, yeah.
remember.
Yeah. Remember, because like the brain, I guess is what his name is, if I'm not mistaken. The main gremlin in this one in the new batch. But yeah, so
Hmm.
uh,
Well, see, you know more than I do because I've only like I've
I love
actually the last
gremlins.
time I watched it was when we recorded on it because Jake loves Gremlins too, but that was probably a couple of years ago. But anyway,
But yeah, that
Mike,
was.
Mikey.
That's,
I
no,
still haven't
Mikey's like,
finished the first one, so I have nothing to.
Oh my God, Mikey, watch it
I
with your
know.
girls. The kids would love it.
Um.
mm.
So speaking of movies, we did watch one movie.
Oh yes.
Well, Lance and I watched a movie. Abe was asleep like a little baby. Um.
It was
So,
past my bedtime. How dare
I know
you?
it was 9 o'clock at night.
It was.
Um. I first need to ask Lance some questions because after reflecting on what has happened, um, I just need to get to the bottom of some things. Lance,
Mm.
what movie did we watch together?
We watched Meat.
Hmm.
Mm.
And what's the main thing you can say about me?
Ooh.
Not about like if it was good or not, but just when you think about me, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
uh,
Just say it.
men loving men, gayness,
Okay.
all the gay.
Okay. So how gay was Meat, Lance?
Oh, I mean, it was
On
pretty
a
fucking gay.
scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah.
I it was the gayest of all the movies I saw that weekend.
That was the
Okay.
only movie you saw that
And
weekend.
Not the point, Aid. Not the
and true
point.
or false, shortly after you saw this gay film, you were
Mhm.
rendered physically ill.
Oh my God! Really, is this what you're attaching
I
this to?
just, I,
No,
you
don't you
needed a whole day to
dare!
recuperate from
I-
how much gay shit you saw.
oh my God, that's not true. I knew. I felt this is where we were trying to go with this. It is not true. I loved the movie. It was great, by the way, Roger. So,
Oh yeah, and by the
He's
way,
like, Roger.
your movie that your little short that you're like Roger, who may or may not be a friend of the podcast, and I commented and I said, "Oh yes, Roger, the nemesis of the podcast." He was even like, "Well, we'll see what y'all say about meat to figure out if I'm a friend of the podcast or not."
no,
Bless his heart. I loved Roger, by the way. He was
Oh,
so
he was
fun.
amazing.
yeah, he was great.
But in all sincerity, this is the second time I've seen Meat. Meat is the movie that I went to Cleveland for their premiere. I just love that movie. I think it's so fun. I think it's super gay, really hot. We have amazing hot guys of different ethnic backgrounds, thank you,
Yeah.
that show up in full buff nudity, full sausage
Hmm.
glory.
I was actually impressed with the fact that this project has been a 4-year project for him, and
I think
that
it's
it's
five.
finally is it 5? Yeah, maybe it
I
was
think
5.
so.
And like for it to finally come like
To
closer to the
fruition.
end. Yeah, because he was
No
definitely
pun
like
intended.
yeah, like but you know what I mean like because we were there for the kind of like a I guess preempted Q&A because I don't know if that was actually
Yeah, they did like a little Q&A at the end. It wasn't like an official like stay
yeah
tuned for Q&A with director
yeah.
Roger Connors.
Uh,
But it was like a hey, I'm here, I want to ask me questions, and people did. And so just for the audience purposes, Meet is about a group of gay men who do something not so great, and they're one of them has to pay for consequences and gets out of prison. When he comes out, someone starts killing people around them. I leave it very vague in general because I think one of the things that caught me off guard that I think was a good thing that it did is just what they did. Because I was like, oh, that's like really bad. Like, you know how we
yeah
talked about the new I Know What You Did last summer? You're like, you didn't really do anything that bad. You just kind of had misguided judgment. No, these people did something really bad.
yeah.
And because of that, you struggle with like, should I be on their side? And then of course you have specifically one character that like kind of like makes a turnaround. You're like, okay, he's trying to like be a better person, so I really love him. Um, Everybody in the cast did a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
Shout out to Cody Steele and Anthony. Oh, what's his name? Here and so Anthony was there. Everybody, there's two actors that I have told to their face that I hate them. Anthony Cavada. Um, I him and I forgot the other actor's name, but he plays. I believe the character's name is JT, the guy with the
Mm.
eyeshadow. And I saw JT. I talked to JT or not JT. That's his character's name, not his actual name. I spoke to him in Cleveland, and I was like, you know how I know you're a good actor? I was like, I hated you in that movie. But talking to you right now, I was like, you are so sweet. And I know that's not how you are in person. And like, it's hard. It was hard for me to be like, okay, that's not him. That's just his character. Um, but he was very sweet. And then I talked to Anthony also. And I was like, Anthony, because I didn't really talk to Anthony in Cleveland. But when I saw him in Houston, I was like, well, I hated you in the movie. So good job. Um, but,
Well, Roger invited us on a trip, Mikey. You have to check your Instagram.
uh-oh. Oh, I think I know
Uh,
where that trip is. Uh, I've been getting some snaps from that trip. Um, but I'm very excited for the future of Meat because I what Roger is going to do is because he has a fully fleshed out project and it's completed and you can show it. He wants to just like take it on tour, like because I do think it will get. There's a lot of gay horror fans, and if you take it on tour and you like just be like, hey, this is a super gay horror movie that is actually like has some tense moments and has very effective gore, um, you'll get people showing up. And if you do
Honest,
that, go ahead, Lance.
oh, I was gonna say honestly, like the practical effects they did in this movie, like like were awesome. They were like I don't want to give away any, honestly, but like some of the ones with like I'll say like one in the sense of the stop curbing moment
Yeah.
was
Curb
really good.
stomping.
Yeah, like it was good. A lot of them were just on point. I mean, like it was really cool and it was fun to watch in that sense of just. I mean, and we've seen some movies that like when you get to those spots, you're like, what just happened here?
Yeah.
And I do, did they even use any CGI at all? It didn't seem like it too
They
much.
did. They used, and by the way, that actor's name is Jason Eno. He plays TJ. So just wanted to make sure
Ooh.
I gave flowers where flowers were due. So there was CGI used. There was CGI kind of what is it, intertwined with the curb stopping scene, but it wasn't completely CGI. And
Yeah.
I forget how long it lingers, and I'm like, that's so gross. But there is a lot of practical, and like with the injuries and stuff, and it's very violent. And I think that was another thing that took me off guard is, we think independent horror films are like, oh, they're gonna cut corners and make the death either like super cheesy or super quick, and Roger's like, no, ma'am, Pam, and we lingered that it's the second time I've seen it, and that curb stomp scene is still charring and jarring.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's not the only part. There's a lot where I was like, ugh.
I mean,
I wish you would have seen it, Aiden.
if that
I
was the
know.
like the caveat of getting into the what they had as in some of the kill scenes, it was a good beginning step. Like you're like, okay, where are we going from here now? Because
Yeah.
like it's good because it did build up more stuff and it was really cool that how just got extra the suit, by the way. Like I
Oh yeah.
know I heard somebody talking about the suit and they go, oh, it's basically just an S&M. I go, I don't know what kind of S&M you're in, but that's a full on Metal Gear outfit. Like like
Yeah. It's a very iconic look. And I think that also, you know, is a
yeah.
staple for the film is just the way that he's called the stud.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, I love that. I know. I'm sad I missed it. If it was on earlier in the day, I probably would have been fine, but
it's okay. Our
nobody
poor
woke me
Lance
up,
could barely
so
handle it. So
clearly.
Oh, let's talk about that for a second, or maybe later on. Here's the thing: is folks, I got food poisoning,
Mm.
and if you're in Texas, yeah, I guarantee you, my butt, peeing from my butt and puking out my mouth. I guarantee you, I wish it was a hangover. I would have gotten up and gone to the things we were supposed to do that day, but I was not. And I want to shout out to Reno Ranch. I don't know how you fucked up a
Okay.
goddamn chicken
oh,
steak.
doxing.
Yeah. Well, he didn't say the name right anyway, so it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. And the thing is all of us ate the same things the whole weekend, so I don't
Except
know what he
that's the only
ate.
thing I ate. It's called Reno Ranch.
I think it was just a little bout of
No, no, no.
homophobia.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe,
No.
yeah, could be that too.
It's like-
Or maybe he
it
didn't want to
was
do all the things that he had planned for that day, so guess who had to do them alone
Yeah.
yeah,
on
He
her
just
own with her
took
big
some
glass of wine.
Epicat
yeah.
while he
Oh
was
my
at
god.
the hotel being a human cherub water fountain. Both ends.
In all the wrong directions.
But anyways, it was really fun. If you guys have the opportunity, I'm 90% sure we're all going to be there again next year because I
I-
think this is not official. This is not official, but I think this is the second biggest con in Texas next to the Dallas one. And it was so good. And it's the only one that I know of that actually intertwines horror films with the convention. Usually it's just the convention, but they take pride in selecting these horror movies that you can watch and, you know,
Yeah, I'm
love.
surprised more
Yeah.
places don't do that. Like, I don't know. Does Spooky even do that?
Well,
Like,
Spooky, they play movies, but it's not, the thing is like this is actually an actual film festival because I know that we had a lot of trouble with one of us saying the name of the festival, but it
I
was
wonder who that was.
Houston Horror Film Festival. Okay, Film Fest.
I
So
love
this,
you.
I feel like this is the films came first, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Whereas like other horror conventions, yes, I know that they play movies at Spooky, but like I don't even know where they would be
Yeah.
because there's so much going on at Spooky Empire. Like, I have no idea. I never, and there is a schedule, I should say, but
mhm.
never once watched a movie
Yeah.
at Spooky. So
Yeah. That's what I was saying to say. Like, it was like I was kind of excited. And you know what's funny too is I almost stayed with you, Mikey, but I forgot you were actually you had to watch the shorts because you were like, oh, I gotta watch the shorts. I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't
Well,
really think
yes,
about it at the time.
Lance's food poisoning was kicking in, I guess, at that moment. So
Good
Well,
God.
at any rate, other festivals, take note. This is how you do it. Congratulations to the Houston Horror Film Festival. It was a wonderful weekend and we loved it.
it was a
But
great time. Yeah.
hmm that's a wrap on this week's episode. If you want to see our lovely faces while we ramble and figure out what Lance's word of the week is, check out our video cast at youtube.com/slashes podcast. Plus, don't miss our bi-monthly deep dive into all things horror nerdy at the Comic Chop only on YouTube. A hot collab with me and Slashers podcast and Joe from Nuts About Nerding. Sorry. Me, Lance,
What
and
was?
Joe. Um,
Oh my goodness, poor Joe.
sorry. Um, exclusive content. Join us on Patreon for monthly exclusive reviews, bonus episodes, and some killer new perks. Just like we said, we bought a bunch of stuff for our Patreon members from Houston. So we're gonna be asking you for your addresses and sending you some little goodies. If you want to join our street team and rock some swag, you can find us on Redbubble, where your support loud and proud at slasherspod.redbubble.com. Or you can ask me or Lance or Ade if you want to order a t-shirt with the Slashers podcast text that looks like a VHS or the hand going to the TV type situation. If you want to find us on Instagram, you can follow our podcast page at Slashers Pod, or you can follow Mutant Goons from Beyond for all things weird and wonderful. If you want to yell at us directly, find us on social media: Ade at Pathologically ADE, me at Horror and a Half Shell, Lance at Zombie V Shate. And if you can't figure out the double box known as Instagram, then find us on Facebook. Come chill in the Mutant Goons from Beyond group for all the chaos. Big thanks to our amazing Patreon members: Josh Gunn, Dinosaurs Will Always Be Awesome, Lorraine Ellis, Kevin Leamy, Vladimir Luis, Leslie Thurman, Cam, Gail Amara, and our newest member, Press Eject. I will find your
Woohoo!
name if you want me to shout you out properly. Um, if you want to join them, head over to patreon.com/slasherspod and become part of the horror family. As always, thanks for listening. And remember, stay spooky. Halloween's coming up. Hopefully this heat ends soon. And if it does, just look at my Instagram if you want more heat.
Mm.
Uh.
Mm.
Anyways,
Oh,
goodbye. Don't die.
Goodbye.
die.
Oh my God, was I even recording? Just kidding.